coming to you live on a Monday here, coming to you a little bit early is just the way it worked out on our schedule. And you know what? Why not start the week off great? You know what? The college football or college basketball, the NCAA tournament, I guess technically starts tomorrow with the first 4 games in Dayton. The World Baseball Classic is going on. We got some state tournaments going on in North Dakota, and I believe is the state this weekend as well, or is that next week?
For boys?
Yeah.
Yes, it's this week. Starts on Wednesday.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. All right. Well, yeah. The final two lower classes for North Dakota starts on Thursday. The Class A over in Fargo, Class B up in Minot at the Minot State Dome. But the main reason for this show, and we will preview the Class A boys and B boys tournament at the end of the show here. But as always, we are going to preview the NCAA tournament, one of our favorite episodes of the year. And if today, work-wise, wasn't such a little bit of a S show, I definitely would have been putting on a suit for this show because, you know what? Why not? It's the NCAA tournament. We've never worn.
Did you listen to Pat Riley and get motivated?
No.
I better. I listened to John Rothstein.
Oh, boy.
I got my nitroglycerin pills right next to me. I'm ready to go.
Was that in between some sort of breaking? Was that some sort in between two sets of breaking news across the world?
Yes, it was. Well, and he actually talked about why he always wore a suit was because Brian Williams came to a studio that he was working at when he was like in college, and he was trying to make it big and wanted to make an impression. So anytime he would ever go into the studio, he'd always be wearing a suit. And Brian would come in every now and again, and he actually was there. He can confirm he was there. And he would say that like one time he saw Brian saw John out in the street. John wasn't wearing a suit, and John sees him and starts waving at him. And then as he gets closer, he's like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you without a suit." So now John just wears a suit everywhere he goes. And you know what? We sleep in May. But fellas, what was kind of overall thoughts? It was kind of a boring selection show. It went pretty much chalk the way we pretty much was chalk the tournament. I mean, I had the bracket out in like 5 minutes. The most exciting thing is I was on a live on TikTok with Hayden, and he got booted off his TikTok and banned until the 18th of going on TikTok live. And do you guys want to know why?
Did he say roll tide when the Alabama people got upset?
No. Even better.
The Auburn people, excuse me.
He said he has his TV mute. He doesn't want to listen to Bruce Pearl's fat ass, and it just ended. The stream just ended. It was like, the creator has ended this stream.
That's awesome.
So the creator is either an Auburn fan or is from a country in the Middle East that I'm not going to name. That Bruce Pearl is.
Yeah, we can't. We're not going to go too much in depth on this one. That one we could find ourselves in some trouble there. So we're just gonna roll with the punches here. We're gonna start in the East region here, and Duke is the number 1 seed out of that region, and they may have gotten the toughest draw out of the 4 1 seeds. I think. I mean, you look at
it's not close.
I mean, UConn. And then they get a date potentially with St. John's or Kansas in the Sweet 16. That's going to be tough. But
even Ohio State,
they've been
playing fantastic basketball for over a month now.
And TCU's no slouch either. TCU's given no.
So yeah, they got the short end of the stick.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see, like, it was after the whole field was released, CBS, they added up the total rankings for all 4 region or brackets, and of course, the lower the score, you're better, because that means all the teams in your bracket are higher ranked in terms of 1 through 68. And Duke, the number 1 overall seed, was in the hardest one because their top 4 equaled 31. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, shouldn't you be rewarded with the quote easiest bracket if you're the number 1 overall seed? Easiest, in air quotes, I say.
Yeah. No, because it's Duke.
Well, I agree with you, and nobody likes Duke, and they're just a bunch of pansies.
But it also makes sense though, because the East Coast is like this year they were really good at basketball, and so the top 5 seeds get their preference, I think, of like what region they want to play in. They're all going to pick the East, and you could argue outside of Kansas, like UConn's probably the strongest 2. St. John's is the strongest 5. Michigan State might be the strongest 3. So like they just got kind of screwed, like just straight up, which I'm not mad about.
Yeah, I just find it's interesting because it's almost like you're getting penalized for being the number 1 overall seed, where they're like, hey, you know what? You lost twice this year, once this year. We're going to give you the hardest trek to the Final Four because we think you can handle it because you're the number 1 overall seed. Mm-hmm. But hey, like I said, if you get all these one and done, all these 5-star players, and you can pay everybody more than everyone else with all the people who graduated from Duke and now who work in Wall Street, don't come complaining to me, because you go to Duke to play the best, and now you get to play the best to try to get a championship and win 6 games.
Correct. Got to win 6 straight, and technically for Duke it'd be 9 straight, probably more from when they because I don't even know the last time they lost. I feel like they haven't lost in February at all. I think it's Carolina their last loss.
Carolina was their last loss, and that may have been. Was it the week of the Super Bowl, or was it the week before? Because if it was the week before, they may not have lost all of January and March.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what day on the calendar that first game was, but yeah, that first game against UNC was their last loss.
That's crazy. But we're going to change things up. Instead of going by pick for a region, we're going to break down each region. We're going to pick a Cinderella, a team that's going to be on upset alert, and our Elite 8 prediction and who wins. And then after that, after we do each one, we'll come back around. We'll do our final 4 predictions, the national champion winner here. I will say we do have one twist on this. Your Cinderella and upset, they cannot play each other. I think that's fair. If that makes sense. So, we'll start, like I said, we're going to start in the East region here. And my Cinderella is none other than the North Dakota State Bison. This might come as a shock, but I picked them to go to the Sweet 16. Now, I am nervous playing Michigan State, who did go one and done. So Tom Izzo is seething at the way they played in the Big Ten tournament. I think he's going to have them ready to go. But I think NDSU also are hungry. Dave Richman is hungry. I think that he is also still seething at the fact that they didn't get a chance to play in the 2020 NCAA tournament, which was canceled because of COVID. And I do think that was a team that would have won a game in the tournament that year. And I like this team because they have really good guard play. They are solid inside, and they have the ability to light it up from 3. And I think it sets up good, too, in the sense that they didn't shoot particularly well in the Summit League tournament. So they're going to put all the chips to the table and be in the gym shooting, pulling up threes, because I do think this is going to be a game where NDSU is going to have to make anywhere from 10 to 15 threes for them to have a shot to win, between Damari Wheeler-Thomas, Andy Stefanowicz, Tay Smith. Noah Federson can go hit the three. Trayson Anderson has also shown his ability to hit the three. I think they've got to hit their 3-point shots, and I think they can. We've seen a Tom Izzo team lose to a higher seed like this in March in the first round. I mean, as of lately, Izzo, it seems like they're either losing the first weekend or they're making the Final Four. I think this NDSU team is going to pull the upset here. So, Ethan Grant, who you guys got as your Cinderella in the East?
I'm gonna go there. It's the same team. I don't have North Dakota State winning. I really wanted them to, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't pull the trigger on it. But I'm gonna go with another team that hasn't lost since February, and that's the South Florida Bulls. I have them upsetting Louisville, beating Michigan, and then getting to the Sweet 16 versus UConn. So that is kind of my Cinderella. I mean, I don't know much about them, but if you go over a month and a half now without losing, you're doing something right.
You are. And Grant, who has gone dark on us.
Well, because
who is your Cinderella?
So I'm going to go with TCU. Dylan, before we recorded, you said they could possibly get on a run, and I think being battle tested this whole season in the Big 12 is when everything they learned and that toughness that you have throughout the day could come out and show. Because if it comes down to a tight game against Ohio State or in the second round against Duke, where Duke has absolutely smashed people all year, if it comes to a close, tight-knit game in March, they're not going to know how to react, kind of like that Duke team last year. And TCU is just going to be like, we've been here and we've done that, where that experience is going to pay off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, Grant, I suppose we'll stay with you. Mm-hmm. Who is the team that you have on upset alert?
I'm going to piggyback off what Ethan said earlier. I'm going to go the 11-6 matchup and go the USF Bulls over Louisville.
Okay.
Because, like Ethan said, they're getting hot. They just won their conference tournament. I've seen Louisville play a couple of times this year. I'm not necessarily sure they're that good, but they're Louisville. They're kind of a blue blood. They play in the ACC. And there's always a 12-5, 11-6 upset. And I just think South Florida's hot. And they're going to pull this thing off.
Also, a little nugget on that, because I had Louisville as a team on upset alert. They're the head coach for Brian Hodgson. That game is in Buffalo. Brian Hodgson from Buffalo. A homecoming of sorts for him. He's going to show out in front of the home crowd. I also have South Florida beating the Cardinals here. But my other team, since Grant, you took it, it's a 7-10 matchup here, so I don't know if you can really consider an upset, but I have 10-seed Central Florida beating UCLA. UCLA, tremendous on the West Coast. And if they were able to get hot and find a way to play all their games in the Pacific time zone, I think there's the potential that maybe they make it to the second weekend of the tournament. Who knows? But they got to go all the way out to Philly. And playing in the Big Ten, they haven't shown the ability to win out east consistently. So give me the UCLA upset. Ethan, who do you got for your team on upset alert?
That I was going to pick the same one, the UCLA. Right now, I still have UCLA winning, but it's so much in the air right now with their injuries. Like, is Donovan Dent going to play? Is their big man going to play? If those two don't play, absolutely, I'm taking UCF. But if they're healthy, they're playing. Like you said, this is easily a second weekend tournament team. Like we saw it in the Big Ten, like they can beat anyone on any given night. Maybe you brought up not being able to play on the East Coast. Maybe having almost a week off now since they played last in the Big Ten tournament. Maybe that is going to help them. They're going to be rested. Not going to be traveling 3,000 miles the day before, like whatever it is. It's not that far. But you get what I'm saying. So maybe they get a reset. But they just got to get healthy first for me to really not say they're going to get upset.
So, fellas, Elite Eight prediction. Who you guys got?
I have a rematch of the Big East title, St. John's UConn.
Oh, I almost did. I almost did it. I think the guard play. I think Duke without their point guard. I think that could be a factor, and I think that would be
Gazer's good enough.
Could give St. John's could be a plot positive for St. John's, an advantage for St. John's, I should say.
St. John's is
and Duke, young guys. That could their inexperience show, but in the end, I got Duke winning a title over St. John's, and then I have them beating UConn in the Elite Eight. I got Duke advancing to the Final Four. Grant?
I guess I do have St. John's beating UConn to go to the Final Four.
Oh wow. Patino made it back to the Final Four.
Dude, don't doubt Patino.
Well, I will be doubting Patino because I also have Duke versus UConn.
That sounds like very anti-Italian discrimination, Grant.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Win a World
Do
War.
you hate the Italians?
Well, you know what? They couldn't beat us in World War II, and I don't forget that. And we don't like Duke, but we are back-to-back World War champs. So Duke versus UConn. Dan Hurley's a douchebag, so we're going to go John Shire and the Dukies coming out of the East region.
That's fair.
I just hope they can still find the guy that punched that assistant coach in Carolina. That's my concern.
You know what? If they win the title this year, that's going to be the turning point in their season. Their coach got assaulted in Chapel Hill, and they turned it on from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go down to the South region. The Cinderella. I feel like we're all going to pick the same team here. So on the count of three, we're all going to say our Cinderella team here. 3, 2, 1. VCU.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. I didn't prepare like this for Cinderella in each bracket, so that's why I went dark earlier. But I'll go with VCU on that. Like you said,
did you pick them earlier?
So
I said they'd beat Carolina, but I didn't know if they'd beat.
I guess that counts as a Cinderella. I don't know. Like you beat that's a pretty big upset.
It's an 11-6.
Yeah.
That's the problem, though. It's like I don't know if there's a lot of 4-13 matchups. Like I thought Virginia could be poised to get upset, but they ended up getting bumped up to a 3 seed. There's not a lot of I don't even think I picked a lot of 5-12s.
I didn't pick a single 12 over 5.
I had one, but we'll get to that here later. But yeah, Carolina losing Caleb Wilson. They haven't been the same team since. So I got VCU losing. So team on upset alert here. And I really like the favorites outside of VCU, which made this one tough. But because the pressure is mounting, there is a free happy hour in Lincoln if this team wins a NCAA tournament game and it's on the tab of John Rothstein. I got the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now, I don't think Troy is very good. Does the pressure get to Nebraska? Because there's been a lot of talk. This is as good of an opportunity that they have had to make the NCAA or win a game in the NCAA tournament. How do they respond? I believe they were 1 and done in the Big Ten tournament. So I think Nebraska is a potential team on upset alert.
I was gonna pick the same one. I'll pick McNeese State. I don't think they beat Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt looked really good throughout the SEC tournament, but they've been pretty damn good the last 4 or 5 years. Especially now, Will Wade last year brought them on that little run. This team's gonna have momentum.
They still got Amir Khan.
They still have some of those players, yeah. So it's like they've done it, they've been there, they've seen it. How does that translate over to a new coach and some new players? Like a few of them, obviously, but how does Vanderbilt combat that? And can they make a run too, just to kind of not get upset? I guess.
I also, put Vanderbilt on my upset alert, and just because I needed one 5-12 upset in the tournament, it always happens, and I went with McNeese here, boys. Just for, like you said, the sheer fact that I think they're riding high off that Will Wade momentum last year. If I saw it correctly, they've only lost 5 games all season.
Yeah.
They just kind of feel like they're rolling well. And sometimes a team, they play hot in their conference tournament, and then they have these 4 or 5 days off, and it's not the best thing for them. Maybe Vanderbilt's going to get a little too confident in themselves and take McNeese light, and they're going to was it the Cowboys? They're going to pull off the 5-12 upset.
All right.
All right. So Elite Eight, fellas, who do we got?
I have. Grant, you want to go first?
Yeah, I want to make sure I got the. Okay. Yep. So I have, actually in this one, guys, I have Florida versus Illinois in the Elite Eight.
Okay.
I'm a little scared because Illinois, kind of like these Tennessee teams in the past, is a team you shouldn't trust, because it seems like whenever Brad Underwood teams get into these big moments, they kind of maybe fold a little bit. But I think, again, like I said earlier, with TCU playing in the Big Ten, being in a lot of close competitive games this year, that matters in March. What you've been throughout the whole year, I think that's going to propel Illinois to get to the Elite Eight. And I think Florida is one of the hottest teams in the country, and I think that's going to continue. And I like Florida versus Illinois, and I like Florida getting back to the Final Four.
I'm right with Grant. I was really close to picking Vanderbilt, but I think Florida gets revenge for that SEC semifinal shellacking, really, by Vanderbilt. So I think Florida meets Illinois as well, and Florida goes back to the Final Four 2 years in a row.
Well, it's clean sweep, boys, because I got the same thing. I got Florida over Illinois. I think in the end, Houston's inability to score, where they just go cold, I think that's going to bite them in a game against Illinois. I think Florida gets the revenge against Vanderbilt after getting blown off the floor in Nashville. And I like Florida to make it back to the NCAA or to the Final Four. So let's go over to the West region. And who do you guys have as a Cinderella for the West?
I guess I don't really have a Cinderella. I only have one big upset in this bracket, and that's the bona fide home game for Missouri. I don't even know if you can call it an upset. I don't know what the betting line is on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if Missouri is a betting favorite on that. But playing probably within an hour of their home arena, how the NCAA allows that as a 10 seed, beyond me. I'd be pissed if I was Miami. But
you know what? Miami had a home game in the college football national championship game. I don't want to hear it.
That's different.
Miami's
in my case. They won multiple games.
Miami,
to get to that point.
Miami opened as a 2.5 point favorite. It's down to 1.5 right now.
Man, I'm kind of surprised by that, but I'm going to take Missouri over Miami. I think that's my Cinderella in this bracket. Quotations on Cinderella. I only have them winning one game, so more so just an upset than Cinderella.
Yeah, I have the winner of Texas NC State. BYU has been reeling as of late. I think both of these teams, Will Wade, it's taken them a little bit to get adjusted to him, and I think they're ready to go. Texas, Sean Miller, great opening weekend. Second weekend, can't make it out, but it's only the first weekend. Sean Miller, I like him as well. So I think playing back-to-back days gets those teams in a rhythm, and I like the Texas NC State winner to upset BYU.
And guys, just because when I heard on the selection show on Sunday, this team scores a ridiculous amount of points, and I think they might be able to get hot, I went with High Point as a potential Cinderella over Wisconsin. I'm not sure if they do it, but if there's one team who could maybe get hot, who we don't know it's this team right here, just because they score so many goddamn points a game.
First one to 110 legitimately might win this game.
Yeah, because if I saw correctly, I think High Point scores 90 points a game.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And if you're looking for
over under 164,
that's high for college.
Yeah, that's massive.
So if there's one, like you said, this maybe isn't the best region for that, but if there's one team who could get hot and score some points like that, I'm going to say High Point.
Yeah.
All right, who do we got as a team on upset alert? I'll start. Similar to you, Ethan, I got Miami, mainly because I don't know a lot about either team, but a tough job having to play Missouri in St. Louis. That's going to be not easy for them. But what do you guys got?
I'll take Utah State over Villanova. I don't know if that's actually technically an upset or not either. Utah State's really freaking good. But I got BYU in the Sweet 16. That'll be my big upset, I guess. I think Debansta or whatever. Debansta, I don't know how to say his name. But this bracket's kind of like just like the freshman phenoms. You got Acuff in Arkansas, Copete at Arizona, Debansta at BYU. It's like a lot of young talent. And so I like BYU. I like their draw. Gonzaga, I don't know a lot about them, but they really haven't made a lot of noise this year. So I'm gonna take BYU over them in the second round.
I'm gonna piggyback off on what Ethan said. I like BYU into the Sweet 16, and I think that since I can't have my High Point be my upset in my Cinderella, I'm gonna go with the second round upset with the 6th seed getting in there in the Sweet 16. BYU defeating Gonzaga.
I mean, Debansta is a freaking man. Like, he is a beast.
And this Gonzaga is either a Final Four team where they lose in the first weekend, and this is not a Final Four team.
No.
I got them getting to the Sweet 16. But let's get to our Elite 8 matchups here. Who do you guys got in the Elite 8 here in the South region?
I really wanted to pick Arkansas, but Arizona's just too good, too clutch. So I have Arizona versus Purdue. I think Purdue really kind of put it together in that Big Ten tournament. I doubted them. I even said it going into the Big Ten tournament.
I think everybody did.
They were coming in weak, and they really picked it up. I mean, they won, so obviously they picked it up. But their guards finally started playing better. Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and then whoever number 0 is, he really started playing well in the semifinals and finals. So I like them, but I like Arizona making it to the Final Four.
Tom Boyd getting Arizona back to the Final Four for the first time since like 2001, I think. I can't remember.
Nuts. It's been that long.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. 1 second here.
Potential, though, too. And some breaking news. Note says Alabama is preparing to play without Aiden Holloway for the NCAA tournament.
Yep, I saw that.
Friday.
He's been kicked off of campus for now.
But we do have some intriguing potential. The Arizona-Wisconsin playing each other in potentially the Sweet 16, which if you go back, when we were in college, some of the battles that those two programs had, that Arizona was able to get back on top. But my Elite 8 is, and I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, and you guys should probably hit me for it, but I got Arkansas making the Elite 8, Calipari back.
Nice. I like it.
For a spot in the Final Four, playing the Big Ten tournament, being Purdue Boilermakers. And in the end, I got Arkansas. I think Acuff is. I think this is where
so
Purdue
good.
is. Where Purdue seems to struggle. They kind of revert to factory settings. And as experienced as this Purdue team is, Arkansas's got the best player on the court. And at the end of the day, it's still Purdue that doesn't have Zach Edey. So give me the Razorbacks to make it to the Final Four.
Honestly, if there's a player in this tournament that can pull off a Shabazz Napier type run, it's Acuff. He is like unguardable, Ant Edwards almost when he's on. It's pretty terrifying.
You know, guys, I think kind of like this year in the NFL, how after Bo Nix broke his ankle, we were going to have an actual Super Bowl, but the real Super Bowl was the week before when it was the Rams versus Seahawks. That's this region for me. The Elite Eight is Arizona versus Arkansas, but because it can't fold that way, it's going to be, if you ask me, I'm going to go Arizona versus Purdue because Purdue is getting hot, and I think they're going to be too big for BYU in the Elite Eight, in the Sweet 16, excuse me. But I like Arizona by 10 over Purdue in this Elite Eight matchup. They're clicking after that Big 12 tournament. They're scoring a lot of points. I think Arizona is going to get to the Final Four.
All right. We got 3 regions down, 1 to go. We're going to go to the Midwest region here. And fellas, who is a team in the Midwest that you have a Cinderella? Who is the Cinderella of the Midwest region?
One team I did a lot of research on today, actually. I have no idea why, but Akron. I looked at their schedule. They scored 90 or more 15 times. So almost half of their games they scored 90 or more. They scored over 110 3 times. And then they scored 99 2 more times. Like, these guys can score the shit out of the ball. Texas Tech without Toppin, I don't know if they can put up enough points. I know they're a really good defensive team. Their star Anderson, he had a pulled groin. He's got to be iffy at best. He didn't play in their last game, I want to say, or didn't come back in their last game of the Big 12 tournament. They can score the snot out of the ball. And then you got Alabama, who we just got the news today. They're not going to have their number 2 score, it sounds like. Also, guess what? They haven't played defense for the better part of the last 5 years, or else they'd have multiple national titles at this point because of the offense they have. That's going to be another game, Wisconsin High Point, where it's first 1 to 110, 115. And Akron even went into Purdue at the beginning of the year, gave them a good game. They barely lost to Yale, barely lost to Miami of Ohio. They lost to them by 3 in overtime, or not overtime technically, but they lost by 3. It's like this. They played good teams and they were competitive. So it's not like they're just this random, like, they earned that 12 seed. And I actually like their chances.
Well, and a lot of people,
16.
A lot of people said they were going to win over Miami of Ohio, who was undefeated to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And they're led by a guy. This isn't his first rodeo in the NCAA tournament. It's former Illinois and Ohio coach John Gross, who got Ohio to the Elite Six back in 2012. Had a couple of good years at Illinois. Now back in the MAC, taking Akron to the big dance. So this guy is in his first rodeo, and that's the other thing too is his experience coaching in this tournament. He understands how this tournament works, so he's going to be ready. He's going to rely on his experience, and I also have Akron as my Cinderella. I was going to pick Miami of Ohio and SMU, but I ended up probably against my better judgment picking Tennessee there. But Grant, who do you got as your Cinderella here?
Just because we need one double-digit team in the Sweet 16 each year, and I think this is my only one I have. I have Santa Clara as the 10 seed.
Oh,
that's bold. They are good. They are very good. I will give you that. But
yep. Sorry, did I say Sweet 16?
Yes.
You did have Santa Clara in the Sweet 16, yes.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. Santa Clara winning the 10-7 game.
Okay.
Excuse me. Not beating Iowa State, but Santa Clara getting a win in the 10-7 game.
Yeah, I got that too. That's a fair one. I don't think Kentucky's that good, and they're not healthy. They're banged up.
No. And like I said, had I known that stuff about Akron before, maybe I would have picked them. But for what it's worth, also now this Hofstra-Alabama game just got interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what's his nuts on
did.
the TV. Is it who is it? Is it Seth Davis, Seth Greenberg, the main guy for CBA? He had Hofstra winning.
Seth Davis. Yeah.
Seth Davis, thank you. Maybe that's a 13-4 game to watch. But yeah, I'll stick with Santa. I'll stick with Santa Clara.
I don't know much about Hofstra. That game's in Tampa, but I don't have them. I don't have Alabama winning or Hofstra winning, but I do have them on upset alert with the news of the arrest So I could see that potentially happening, but I don't really know if we have an upset. If I have an upset, we'd have to go to my uh, second round game where I got Tennessee upsetting Virginia in the first round, or in the round of 32. Same thing. And you know what? I changed it. I think Alabama against Hofstra, what's going to happen is they're going to come out, they're going to be able to just let's go play, and they're going to put all that distractions behind them. They're going to go lights. Akron's going to come in, and I think Alabama comes back down to reality, and they struggle to shoot the ball, and they start forcing stuff, and Akron plays good, balanced defense. And I got Akron advancing to the Sweet 16.
I'm gonna take Miami of Ohio knocking off Tennessee. That's gonna be my upset. I haven't winning that one, and then they lose to Virginia. But I got 2 MAC wins in the Midwest bracket.
That's big.
And proving that they deserve to be a 2-bid league over Auburn.
How do you leave a 31-1 team out? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Especially
over
Auburn.
Go ahead.
Auburn lost half their games this year, and they lost 3 games by 25 plus points. Give me a break. Congratulations, you guys played it. Congratulations, you guys played a tough schedule, and you got your ass handed to you. Now go to the NIT, you pussies.
All right. Well. Oh well, we are in Minneapolis, so
shit's getting real.
Yeah.
No hope, same thing.
Let's go to the Elite Eight in the Midwest, fellas. Who do you guys got? Elite Eight.
I have Michigan and Iowa State. Those are the 2. I think Michigan easily got the best draw out of any of the 1 seeds. I don't really think.
I would agree.
Close. I mean, yes,
no complaints here.
No, I mean, yeah, the 5 seed Texas Tech, good team when they're healthy. Is Anderson healthy? Debatable. Alabama don't play defense. They're losing their second best player. Iowa State, good. Virginia, meh. But so outside of Michigan and Iowa State, there's really not much there. Like, there's really not a whole lot of really resistance, I guess I could say. I do have Iowa State moving on, though. I do have them advancing to the Final Four. First times, I believe, since Marcus Fizer.
So I have Michigan as well, but I have them playing Virginia. I just kind of feel like new head coach, new energy for Virginia, only losing 5 games this whole season. Sure, they just got their doors blown off them by Duke in the ACC title game, but Duke's doing that to everybody.
It wasn't a blowout. That wasn't a blowout, though. Virginia was there. They just couldn't quite get what they stops when they needed to.
But yeah, with that, Dylan, I got Michigan in the Final Four, second straight year. I have 4 number 1 seeds in there, or maybe I didn't have all 4 last year, but I think it's going to be all 4 number 1 seeds this year. And then just the coaching job Dusty May has done after year 2 at Michigan, getting his team to the Final Four. Second time in 4 seasons? He'll be in the Final Four.
Yeah, it would be. They're able to do it. I got Michigan, Iowa State as well. This might come as a shock to you guys. I picked Michigan to go to the Final Four.
Can't blame you.
I think losing to Purdue, I think that got him. That got Dusty the motivation he was able to get him. They didn't play particularly in the Big Ten tournament. They've had some struggles since Kaysen has gone out, but I think they're going to figure some things out. I think Dusty has found some things that he can drill to them these first couple of weeks. And I think Michigan's been the most, with Duke, the most consistent team in college basketball this year. I like Michigan to go to the 4. So we got our final fours. I got Duke, Florida, and Arkansas, Michigan, 3-1s and a 4 seed. So we'll start in the first semifinal, Duke versus Florida. And I think it's really tough to repeat. I think Todd Golden should be commended for getting back to the Final Four after winning national title last year. But in the end, I think Duke is on a mission. They're on a roll. And I got Duke winning to advance to the national title.
Well, I got St. John's in Florida, and I'm going to go with Todd Golden. I'm going to go Florida gets back to the title game, second year in a row.
Ethan's rolling with the Gators.
I also have Duke versus Florida, and I'm with Ethan. I think Florida's back in the national championship game after the tough start of the year that Florida went started the year on, how they've gotten hot right now. It's a testament to their coaching and the culture that they have down there in Gainesville. And I think they're going to keep this thing rolling. And like I said earlier, Duke, a potential loss to TCU. I think experience is going to matter. And just like last year's Final Four team, when Duke couldn't finish, I think they won't be able to finish now. And or in return, Florida will finish. So the Gators are playing in the national championship game.
Okay. The other semifinal, we got Arkansas versus Michigan. And I think this is where Arkansas's luck runs out. They have not faced the defense that Michigan poses. Defense wins championships. Michigan's been the best defense in college basketball all year. And I like Michigan playing Duke in the national title. Here, fellas, who wins in your second semifinal?
I think for the third time, Arizona and Iowa State, if not. Actually, this might be the fourth time. They met twice in the regular season and then in the semis, I believe, if I remember right. I still think Arizona pulls it out. I think they're the most complete team in the country.
Yeah, and I got Arizona versus Michigan. And again with Ethan, I'm rolling with Arizona. After watching that Big 12 championship game, that Big 12 tournament, Arizona, they just seem hot. They're playing their best basketball of the year. Michigan's kind of struggling here, a little bit towards the end. And I think Arizona's coaching staff finally gets over that hump that gets them to a national title game playing Florida.
All right. Well, and who wins it?
If we're going snake order, I'll go. And you know what? Florida wins basketball titles in back-to-back years. And I think that's going to continue. I like I said earlier, I think the way they started this year, how they've bounced back to getting super hot at the end of the year, Todd Golden's coaching job. I think we're gonna get back-to-back titles from Florida. I think they're one of the hottest teams in the country, and I think the experience on their coaching staff with the inexperience on Arizona's staff in these big moments, Florida did not play well in the title game last year, but they didn't back down from anybody. Experience matters in these big games, so give me the Gators.
It's actually kind of cool if this actually would happen because these two teams opened the season versus each other too. Florida and Arizona did back on November 3rd, which Arizona won by 6. So to come literally full circle right back, it'd be a pretty crazy story. But I have the same result. I have Arizona beating them. I think Bradley and Barry, I don't even say it, backcourt, best in the country. They can hit the big shots. Like you saw Jaden Bradley in the semifinals, Grant, versus Iowa State, the fading away shot in the corner. Even in the championship, Arizona's kind of going along. Then Barry's just comes up and boom, 10 straight points. Then Arizona takes lead, never looks back. I just think they are too complete of a team, and they're going to win the title.
All right. I got Michigan Duke, and Michigan gets their revenge. Duke had them in the regular season. Michigan comes back, takes care of business, and Michigan, for the first time since 1989, their second national title, tying the alleged basketball school in the state of Michigan, Michigan State. Here, so I got the Wolverines. Call me a homer. I don't care. I got to see him win a national title in football a couple of years ago. Now I'm going to get to see him do it in basketball. So go Blue. And that wraps up our NCAA tournament preview here. We're going to go down to the high school ranks. It is the Class A, Class B state tournament starting on Thursday. We'll start with the Class A. That's going to be going off in the Fargo Dome here. So we got Class A, first game of the day. The 2 seed, the Central Cass Squirrels, taking on the 7 seed, the Turtle Mountain Braves.
That is not a mascot. There's no way in hell.
The Squirrels? Oh, no, that's real.
Oh my God.
That can't be a thing. That's freaking awesome. I mean, I don't even care where they play. I'm taking the Squirrels.
Book it, Squirrels. It's the greatest name of all time.
Yeah, I got the Squirrels as well. We'll go second game. The Forwinds Milwaukee Indians. Oh, go ahead, Grant. There's another good one here in the state that
just keep
you guys
keep her
will
going.
see here. Okay. All right. The Forwinds Milwaukee Indians taking on the 7 seed, the 6 seed, the Shiloh Christian Skyhawks. Who wins this one?
Who was the first one?
The school. This first school, Ethan. They have kept to their guns, and their school name is still the Indians. I'm taking the Indians.
Absolutely.
Well, it is on a reservation.
Why are we playing this game?
Yeah. Just give them the damn trophy.
Yeah, just give them the trophy.
Yeah, I got 4 wins. Shiloh had a tremendous run in Region 4, losing to Beulah twice, but getting over the hump in the region championship game was a great game. I was there for it, but 4 wins is going to be too much for the Skyhawks, so I got 4 wins advancing. So let's go to the the first game of the night session. The number 1 seed, who was the 4 seed out of their region and went on to win the Region 2 title. We've got the Devils Lake Firebirds, formerly the Devils Lake Satans, taking on the 8 seed, the Dunseith Dragons. Who wins?
Give me the Satans.
The Satans, all right. Devils Lake.
Yep.
Dragons are cool because they can breathe fire. Give me the Dragons.
Oh, wow. Grant's got the 8 seed upsetting the 1 seed. Okay, I like it. And in the final game of the day, we got the 4 seed Beulah Miners taking on the 5 seed, the Wahpeton Huskies.
Now let me see a Wap. We're going to go Wahpeton.
Wahpeton, all right.
Did you say the first school was the Miners?
Yes.
This isn't a movie, Grant. This is not Glory Road.
No, it is not. But give me the Miners.
Give you Miners. Okay. I also think Beulah wins. They've got some good shooters there. I think they pull it out over Wahpeton. But we go over to the semifinals. We've got the Central Cass Squirrels taking on the Forwinds Indians here.
This is the toughest choice of my life. Holy shit. Man, the only thing that would make it tougher, I don't even know. Screw it, we're going with the Indians.
Going with the Indians, all right. Grant?
I mean, like I said, this school still has the balls to keep the Indians as their mascot. You got to pick the Indians.
All right, we're going with the Indians. I think it's a clean sweep. I like Four Winds to get the win. Second semifinal, we've got Devils Lake playing Beulah. Who wins in that one?
Well, I got Wahpeton in mind, but I'm gonna take the same.
Oh yeah. All right, Ethan. So for the 3rd straight year, Ethan's got Devils Lake going back to the state title.
If I really.
Well, I mean, if they do make it to Saturday, they would That would be their
I thought
third
you meant I
straight
picked
state
them.
title
I
appearance.
thought you said I picked them 2 straight years. I was like, shit.
You could have. You could have. I don't remember what we played last year, but Grant, who do you got between the Firebirds and the Miners?
Well, I'm gonna stick with the Miners.
All right, he's Beulah making it to the state championship. Not so fast, my friend. I got
Not so fast.
The Firebirds, and similar to Ethan, I'm playing in the state championship for the third straight year in this new format. So Ethan and I, it's the Four Winds Indians, a Region 3 rival here. Let me see here. We gotta. I feel like you guys got to get your facts before you make the pick. Here I gotta see. I can't remember what the how they fared. They lost once. Four Winds lost. Or Four Winds beat Devils Lake twice in the regular season. But Devils Lake did get them in the region semifinals here. So fourth time that these two teams have played. Who is taking home state title? Four Winds or Devils Lake?
Devils Lake is even in the score and taking the hardware with them.
All right. Ethan's got Devils Lake. Grant?
Give me 4 wins.
You've got 4 wins for Beulah?
Yep.
It's pretty wild.
Yep.
They have 4 wins all year, and 2 of them have come against the
And they're playing for the state championship. I know.
Yeah. Well, the seeding here doesn't make any sense at all because Devils Lake is 19-7, and they somehow got the 1 seed, which I was really surprised by that. I thought it would have been the Central Cast Squirrels, but I don't do the seeding here. But I got 4 wins. I think they go out and they get revenge. Rick Smith gets his 3rd state title. So give me the Indians to beat the Firebirds here. So let's go down to Class B. And we'll start with our first game today. The 2 seed, the Ray Jays, playing the number 7 seed, the North Star Bearcats. Ray is 24-1 in the year, North Star 20-6. North Star, they are based in Candu, and home of former Viking legend Dave Osborne, who rode to school on horseback every day. Fun fact for you guys. Who do you guys got, Ray or North Star?
I'm going with the rapper Ray J.
The Ray Jays, all right.
Yeah,
I also have Ray.
I gotta go with the Ray Jays too.
Okay. All right. And now we've got a rematch in the 3-6 matchup of last year's semifinal. The Our Redeemers Knights taking on the Bishop Ryan Lions. The Protestants versus Catholics matchup here. Minot Ryan, the defending state champions. Who you guys got in this one?
Give me the Catholics.
Give you the Catholics? All right. Yep. Grant's got Minot Ryan. Still in contention then for a repeat.
I'm gonna go with the Lions. Yep.
All right. I'm gonna sway. I'm gonna go with our Redeemers on this one. I got our Redeemers beating Minot Ryan. I'll go to the night bracket. The number 1 seed, undefeated, McLean Cougars taking on the Nelson County Chargers. Who you guys got?
I don't like counties named after people, so I'm taking the 1 seed.
All right. Ethan's going with the Cougars.
Yeah, you always have to go with the Cougars.
Yep.
In every aspect of life.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the Cougars.
Still about the one at the Iowa game.
Yeah.
Here, kitty.
I got Central McLean as well. Been the best team in Class B all year. I think they proved their dominance in the open game. So the final game of the day we've got the Midway Minto Mustangs taking on the Medina Pingree Buchanan Thunder. Who wins in this one?
Medina is close to my house, so we're gonna go with Medina.
All right. Grant?
I'm going to go with the last team you said too, Dylan, just because I want to hear you say that full name again.
Medina Pingree Buchanan Thunder.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a lot of co-ops in these parts here. So, all right. I don't know anything about either one of the teams, so I'm going to go with Midway Minto to win. And so that sets up in the semifinals. You guys have Minot Ryan taking on Ray, a battle of Region 3 rivals squaring off. Who punches their ticket to play in the state title?
Who are my options? I don't even know who I picked anymore.
Redeemers. You chose Minot Ryan versus Ray, the Ray Jays.
Oh yeah, the rappers, Ray J, for sure.
All right. Rematch of the Region 3 championship that Ray won. I will add, you've got Minot Ryan versus. Oh wait, no, mine is the Region 3 match, region title rematch. Here, you Minot Ryan versus Ray. Grant, who wins?
You know what? I'll go with Minot Ryan.
Oh, so Bishop Ryan with a chance to repeat, according to Grant.
Yes.
I got our Redeemers versus Ray. I got our Redeemers. Ray got the win in the region title. I think our Redeemers gets their revenge, and our Redeemers punches their ticket and tries to win their first ever state championship. So for the bottom bracket, we've got the Central McLean Cougars taking on Medina Pingree Buchanan Thunder. And so who you guys got?
Give me the Ray Jays.
That's not
Oh, it's
different game.
I thought it was
Yeah.
the title game already. Sorry.
I want the Thunder.
Yeah, say the
Grant's
name again,
taking
Dylan, one
Thunder?
more time. I want the Thunder too.
Mm-hmm.
Medina Pingree Buchanan Thunder. Okay.
Yep.
Not fast. You're gonna be wrong. I got Central McLean. You always go with the Cougars, which sets up our championship.
Yeah. I want the Cougars.
Nope. We're gonna go Thunder.
Okay. All right. So Grant and I have Central McLean Minot Ryan versus the Cougars. Ethan has the Ray Jays taking on the Thunder. Who's the state champion?
It's gotta be the Ray Jays.
The Ray Jays. Okay.
Again, in life,
Grant?
you always pick the Cougars, so I'm staying with the Cougars.
Cougars versus Catholics. I like that. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
They should make shirts.
And I'm sure you guys all know this, but there are local Cougars in your neighborhood looking for you.
Yeah.
Grant knows because he's clicked on the link.
You know how many times that bio has gotten me?
I've got Central McLean playing our Redeemers, a rematch of a game that these two played early on in the year, back on December 19th, where Central McLean traveled up to our Redeemers and got a 3-point win. So it'd be the second time these two match up in Minot here. And again, now I know we played football against Central McLean. Their quarterback is a hell of an athlete, 1,000-point scorer in Aiden Hansen. Coach has been there for a long time. And you know what? Central McLean looking for that first ever elusive state championship. And you know what? The Cougars are holding up a trophy Saturday at around 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock, actually, because, I think the game starts at 8. But give me the Cougars to win a state title. So I think that wraps up this week's episode. We'll be back sometime next week, hopefully. And make sure you like, rate, subscribe. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials, 3GTV Podcast. That wraps up this week's episode. Thank you guys again for tuning in. We'll talk to you next